Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV. I'm just checking on my phone just to make sure that I come through. And yes, I am on. Absolutely brilliant. Because listen, guys, you know what happens in the last couple of months, man. I don't know what StreamYard is doing or YouTube, whatever it is. But listen, first of all, I want to say a pre what am I going to call it? Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel, supporting the channel. Absolutely fantastic, guys. Listen, I don't know what I would do without you guys. 18 of you watching right now as we currently speak. Smash that like button, subscribe and share if you are new. As I said, I'm 90 away. That could change. I don't know. I might go back. It might be might be less than that. But at the moment, I'm 90 away from 1K. So listen, I'm hoping that a couple of the guys will join me. It's a very busy day today. Big D said he'll try and jump on. He's currently residing in a hotel somewhere. And listen, some condolences as well to your uncle, Big D, if you are actually watching right now. So people in the chat just saying condolences to Big D. It's not nice to lose a family member this time of the year. And listen, it's tough. It's tough at the top. But listen, we're here. We're here to talk about football. And let me just go through the chat. Obviously, Kwaja, the Perez of the mods, is always in there first, saying big up Normski in the panel, full of legends in the chat. As always, good evening to everyone. And Kwaja just say, smash the like, subscribe to the channel as you come in. And Gavin, big up to you, Gavin. Big up to Normski. Big up to Tommy. Big up to you. Now, I'm not too sure what that means. I don't know if you're saying hello, it's from a different country or not, but big up anyway to you. I don't know if it's the first time you've been on the channel, but if you are, big up to you. Please subscribe to the channel. Respect to Jason all the way in the United States of America. Big up to you. Happy New Year. Normski, yeah, loving it. J Lux, big up to you. God bless. Yeah, always here, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Jason Carter just saying prayers to Big D. Hey, from your little sis and Rico, condolences to Big D. Yeah, listen, big up to Ricardo and big up to Amory, my sis. I hope you did like please, sir, can I have some more? Look, yesterday Arsenal put 4 past Aston Villa. And yeah, I did not expect that. Not with our main man out, I did not expect that. But what a game. What a game. Two halves, a half where the first half we didn't play well, second half totally different. So, if I can get the words out, a game of 2 halves. That's what I'm going to call it. A game of 2 halves, people. 27 people in the building. Come on, smash that like up if you're here. Roger, yes, listen, Roger, we had a long conversation. Big up to Roger every time. And he's just saying condolences to Big D and the family. Roger is a massive Villa fan, and we had a good old hour conversation. And I'm gonna listen. Come the new year, I've been saying it, Roger, but you will get on my show. We will be talking about your beloved club, Aston Villa. Look, listen, under Unai Emery, you are doing an absolute great job with the money that you've had to spend. Not much. You've had, PSR has kind of limited you in terms of what you wanted to do in the summer transfer window. But listen, sitting third on 39 points. Listen, some people, I thought it would have been a difficult one with Declan's out. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at your midfield, Anana, you know what I mean? Rodgers, Tillemans, all of these guys. You know what I mean? This is a strong midfield you got. And I'll say that midfield is better than our midfield. I'm not going to say that. But yesterday, second half, Odegaard turned up. Zubimendi turned up. And this is what I want to see from my captain. This is what I want to see from Odegaard, that you play those through balls. Zubimendi playing as an advanced, more like an advanced 8, people. He looked like he was playing more like an advanced 8. And what? To his merit, he gets to go. Gokered's making the run to create the space. And what happens? Nicely slotted through. And that's the first time I've seen Odegaard play a nice straight through ball. Do you know what I mean? And look, big up every time. And listen, let's hope that we continue to play like this. I'm not going to say we're going to be able to play like that for 90 minutes, but what we should do, and I was saying it to Roger earlier on today, that if we can just put teams away, then control the game. Put the teams away and then control the game. That's all we're asking. Why is it that we have to go into games, tippy-tapping around, possession-based football, go in there trying to control the game, and then we come up with nothing? You know, we come out just about winning the game, scraping through with own goal FC, Owen Gonzalez. You know that's our new striker. But listen, our captain, and I call him my captain, the real captain, Gabriel Magalhaes, turns up, and from there on in, guys, it was a different story. But let me just quickly look at the chat as well. And it's saying very, very funny. Yeah, no, listen, it's what it is. Ricardo, don't like the sound of that. I don't know, Ricardo, especially the fact that Liverpool are fourth. Yes. Big up Aussie every time, please. If anybody can get Aussie's link in the chat, I would appreciate it. Big up to you every time. Big up to Gavin. Condolences to Big D. And Aussie just saying a big happy new year. Yeah, happy new year to you, brother. You know what I mean? Let's hope that 2026, brings us a title. You know what I mean? But, bro, when you got this manager running things, jeez, man, the future, I'm hoping the future is going to be bright. But let's see. Got to do shows together next year. Yes, Aussie, yeah, we have to. We're going to link up. Need to do more collabs and stuff like that. And listen, next year is a big year for me in terms of my work and stuff like that. But I'm not going to get in too much into that. My choice. And we'll see what happens. I'm just going to keep it like that for now. But listen, big up to you. Roger just saying, from our poor start, Villa are doing well. The Gunners play as they did second half. Then the title will be theirs. Look, Paul Merson came out. And listen, it's interesting. Obviously, we might just go away from our model tonight. If it's just going to be me talking to you guys, it's going to be a little different. But listen, hopefully some of the guys will jump up. But if not, I'm going to talk to you by myself. And Paul Merson coming out yesterday, saying Arsenal heading for an easy Premier League win after statement victory against Aston Villa, says Paul Merson in Sky Sports. Paul Merson on Soccer Special. He says, I think they win the Premier League easily. Guys, this man is saying he thinks we win the league easily. And there's a lot of guys that came out after the game on some of these top shows, these top gooners, and coming out and saying that that's it, man. We're going to win the league. We're the best team in the world and all of this and all that. Arteta's the best manager in the world and all that. Listen, the only time I'll say that we are the best team and that this team is going to go on and win it is when I see a trophy lofted above our heads. That's when. The first trophy is the Carabao Cup where we play Chelsea over 2 legs. We need to win that. And Chelsea are going for a little bit of a wobble. Maresca, they're talking about Maresca and the fact that maybe his job might be on the line if he doesn't win. I think he's only had 1 win in 7 in this last Christmas period. Not good. So he's under a lot of pressure. I put it in our chat. And obviously Ez hasn't responded to it, but I'm sure he will be, because I think Ez thinks he's a good manager, but they're not performing. And Ez, rightly came out and said, he doesn't feel that the team is ready to win a league, but they're more like a cup team. So, look, I'm not going to take them for granted. We're going to play them over 2 legs. Can we beat them over 2 legs? That is the big question. Can we beat them over 2 legs? But let's just finish reading what it says on here. Quite easily after dismantling Aston Villa, it was a statement result, and Man City will have been watching. They will be thinking, wow, after that from Arsenal. And to be honest, guys, when you look at the way we've been playing in the last few games where we've been scraping over the line, it's not sustainable. Yeah, I don't care what anybody wants to say. It is not sustainable to play like that. Now, if we play like we did yesterday in the second half, then we might have a different conversation. We might then have a different conversation. Yeah, because at the end of the day, people, I want us to go into those games and yes, we control the game, but put them away. 22-23 season was like watching that second half. We literally blitzed them. We won the ball up high. Zubimendi, what's his name? Odegaard. Do you know what I mean? These guys literally said, right, no, we ain't having this. Now, I don't know what Mikel Arteta said to them. I don't know what he said to the team when they went in the second half. First off, when you look, yeah, they were running through us. Onana was literally running through us, guys. He was running through us. And it's only because he went off And maybe that was the deciding factor of why we was able to go into that second half and step it up and put them to the sword. I did not expect that. When I saw the team sheet yesterday and the news coming out over all social media that Declan Rice was injured, and listen, let's just be straight. We've been calling this from time, and a lot of fans want to turn around and say that I am a negative fan and that I see with my eyes and I see how much this guy last week against Brighton, where we win that game 2-1, scraping it over the line, an own goal, a goal by Odegaard. Well done, Odegaard. You've stepped up the plate. And I'm looking at that thinking, if we sit back and let them back in, then we're looking like we're going to be in trouble. But against Aston Villa yesterday, first half, let's talk about the first half. Now in that game, the first half, as I said, Aston Villa probably had the better half than us. They missed chances. There was a ball played out from Raya to I think it was Victor Gyökeres, and we'll talk about Victor Gyökeres. And he couldn't control the ball. He lost it to Konza. Konza then burst through, played it off to Ozil, to Ollie Watkins. Why have I got Ozil in my head? Why? Maybe Ozil can do a better job. I don't know. But he played it off to Ollie Watkins, and this guy was wasteful. I think he had 2 or 3 big chances, and he didn't put them away. It would have been a totally different game if he had scored. And to be perfectly honest, Unai Emery had a game plan because he said, we're just going to let Arsenal have the ball. Just let Arsenal. And the problem is when we talk about low blocks, people, and we're playing against teams and we're saying, oh, we're the only team that face low blocks. No, there are other teams in the Premier League that face low blocks. And why are they able to break them down? Because they move the ball a lot quicker than us. We tend to move the ball too slow. And what was happening is we were playing in front of them. So whilst we was playing in front of them, they said, keep the ball. We'll get it off you. We're breaking it. And we saw that. Ball over the top. We can't deal with those balls over the top. Yeah? And when Onana was picking up the ball in deep in midfield, Moreno just couldn't keep up with him. And Moreno was lucky yesterday, people. Moreno was lucky. He gets a first yellow card in the, towards the injury time, 45 minutes. Then in second half, he gets another, he nearly, or should I say, got away with not getting a yellow card after pulling down Morgan Rogers. And that was a yellow card. And, what are these top gooners going to say now? Why didn't they look at that and say, oh, listen, we know we got away with it. Moreno got away with it yesterday. And to be honest, between him and Saka, for me, those were the 2 weak links on that side. Saka just doesn't look himself. Yes, he got the assist from the corner, but he doesn't look himself. He doesn't look himself. He's not as quick. And that injury has affected him badly. That injury to his thigh has affected him, and he's not moving freely. And there's this talk, and I there's a level of selfishness now coming up with Saka. Yeah, people are going to say, what are you talking about, Saka, Starboy Saka? No, you got to start passing that ball. You got to start laying off that ball. Do you know what I mean? You haven't got the strongest right foot. Do you know what I mean? Arteta maybe needs to change it up, switch it around. Yeah, but yesterday he needed to come off a much early. He stayed on to the 83rd minute, something like that, before Madueke came on. He needed to come off earlier. Moreno, I was just praying, please, Arteta, get him off, because he's a liability. Because he's not quick, then his only way to tackle a player is to foul them. And so, therefore, Arteta needed to act. He needed to act. But look, as I said, it was a game of 2 halves. It was a game of 2 halves. We set down a precedent in terms of how we dealt with Aston Villa. Because remember, they're coming off an 11-game winning run. 11 wins in a row. In their history, they've done it twice. 111 years under Unai Emery. And the last time we done an 11-win run was, guess who, guys? Under Unai Emery. Now, people are talking about and saying that who is the better manager. If Unai Emery had the kind of money that Arteta had, yeah, I think he wins the league. I really do think it's me. Listen, I had my nephew phone him up, and this is the thing. When we win, Ancelotti phones me up. When we scrape it, I don't get a phone call from him. What's going on, Mr. Sean Crooks? What is going on? If you are watching this on playback, mate, you got to ring me back when we're going through the bad times. And listen, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, Unai Emery is still a better manager. Yeah, you're going to turn around and say, well, he didn't win that game. Well, at the moment, Unai Emery has 4 wins over Arteta's 3 wins, and I think we've got 3 draws. So Arteta needs to level that up. But you know, the thing with Unai Emery, he's won, you know, European Cups. You know what I mean? He has more experience, and if he had the money, he was rushed out of um of Arsenal too early. You know, pretty much, you know, the fans didn't believe in him, the players didn't believe in him, and he just didn't get the chance, and he wasn't given the money to spend. And now we've got this manager who spent nearly 1.3 billion. And what we're talking about is stats, and in terms of, you know, coming second 3 times in a row, having the most tally of points in a calendar year, you know, having the most winning, scoring the most goals against our, you know, invincible sides. Who cares? What did the Invincibles do? They won a title. I couldn't care less about stats. If stats don't lead to a title, then they're irrelevant. They're absolutely irrelevant. And that's what it is for me. It's absolutely irrelevant. So for me, look, Arsenal yesterday played well, and I just want to sort of commend Zubimendi, who I think plays much better, you know, in that advanced position as opposed to playing, you know, deep as that number 6. Because with his back to goal, going back to his goal, he gets pressed and folds. Right? When he's got time and space, you saw what he did yesterday. A lovely dummy. I can't remember the player he done it on, and he done the player, laid that ball off to Trossard. And that's the quickest I've seen Trossard move. And Trossard had the ability to cut back, lay off to Gabriel Jesus, who came on after a minute and lovely slotted it in the corner. Fantastic. Didn't think about it. Didn't need the time to be having an extra touch. Bang. And that's what we want to see. We want to see the ball. The second half was a total contrast to the first half. Total contrast. We was moving the ball quick. We was getting upfield much faster. And I think this is where I think Glock will do well, where he receives the ball much earlier, because with our build-up, our slow build-up, it means he's making all these runs, and he's making these unnecessary runs. He's making these unnecessary runs, and what happens? If he's making these unnecessary runs, the man is doing in his hamstrings, he's doing in his muscles, man. He's running for nothing. Yes, he has to do better on his part. Listen, he's not the most technically gifted footballer. We can see that. We can see that by far. Yeah, his hold-up play needs to improve. But what did we buy Victor for? What did we buy Victor for? We bought him to score goals. We realized that Kai Havertz was missing chance after chance. Jesus wasn't around to miss any chances because he was always injured. He's come back and he's looking fresh. Do you know what I mean? After three knee injuries, mad operations, crazy. Can he stay fit? That's the next question we have to ask ourselves. Can he stay fit? Yeah, we've got obviously Declan Rice. It looks like they kept him out for precaution because obviously in the game, the Brighton game, I think it was in the 64th minute, he was talking about pointing to his knee and saying that he's got a problem with his knee. And Arteta just made him play on. Do you know what I mean? And lo and behold, we turn up at this massive game against Aston Villa, and you look at their midfield and you're thinking, oh my gosh. Then we were hearing news that possibly Calafiori was injured. Yes, he's injured. And also Timber. We weren't too sure whether Timber was going to make the side, but he did come back and make the side. But we've got a number of players that are playing in the red. We've got a lot of games in January, people. We've got a lot of games in January. And for me, we need to have all our players fresh. You know, Gabriel Magalhaes, yes, he's come back and played like a captain defensively and getting the goal, getting us off to that start. But he's come back far too early. And the worry is that he could break down again. There's a number of players. Havertz was sitting on the bench. And I want to address this situation with Havertz and the fact of Ethan Nwaneri. Ethan, if I was you, pick up the phone, to your agent and just say, get me out of this club and get me on a loan. Get me on a loan. Talking about Brentford, probably Bournemouth, maybe that can happen. Because the way, the disrespect that this guy's got from Arteta, you know what I mean? You know, this guy's helped him out in the past when he's had major injuries to Saka, to Odegaard. He's come in and done his bit. And this is the thanks he gets. This is the thanks he gets. Kai Havertz has been out for 5 months, people. 5 months. Kai Havertz has been out for 5 months. And soon as that guy can even hobble, he's back on that bench. And my guy is not even in the match day squad. Come on, how is he feeling? How would you feel? So for me, for his own sanity, get this guy on a loan, get him playing regularly. And if he comes back, if Arteta's there, he needs to invest in this guy and get him back in the team because he's a good footballer. Listen, we don't go and sign a guy. We're not trying to protect his value in that sense. We're signing him because we feel that this guy is going to do something for us in the future. He's still young. Yeah, but the way he's treated him, this is what's happened. And we're going to probably end up with the original team that we had. We bought all these players in the summer, and we're probably going to end up with Glock being third choice. Kai Havertz, that fight will happen between him and Jesus. Odegaard in the middle. The only difference is going to be Zubimendi in that midfield. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Zubimendi in that midfield. So we're going to see how that happens. But let's just quickly, again, go back to the chat. Gyökeres did, this is bigger AFC, what you're saying, man. Gyökeres did so much to come to us, and this fan base don't support him, but happy supporting Arteta that spent 1.3 billion, sorry about that, I've got a bit of hiccups, and 1-0. Gianni, big up to you, bruv. Big up to you all the way in Chicago. I think it's Chicago. So big up to you every time. Go and support Gianni. Go and subscribe to his channel. And please put his link in the chat. Gavin just saying, big up to AFC always. Gavin Hill. Phenomenal way to take the year. Let's 20%. We have to. AFC, we have to. We've got to. Big up Aaron. What you say? Aaron, bro, I don't know. If you are free, I can send you the link. Let me know. Put it in the chat and I can send you the link. I'm talking about Arsenal. If you feel like you want to come on, you haven't been on my channel for a while still. So if you are free, big up to you every time. I can send you the link. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send you the link. If you're coming, you're coming. If you're down, you're down. You know what I'm saying? So hold on. Give me 2 seconds, bro. If you are free, I don't want to put you under any kind of pressure. You know what I mean? You better make sure you're there. You know what I mean? Hold on 2 seconds, man. Two seconds. Hold on. Where is it? Where am I? Got my WhatsApp. You know what I mean? This is Uncle Norman doing his thing. Uncle Norman doing his thing. Okay, let's copy this. And if Aaron is available and wants to just come and have a little chat with us, yeah, feel free, my bruv. Feel free, my bro. Just put that in there. Ignore all the wording around it, Aaron. But if you want to jump on, feel free, bruv. Feel free. Yeah. Give me 10, mate. Oh, come on. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, PG. You know the way, Aaron. You know the way. PG style. PG tip style. You know what I'm saying? PG tip style. But look. Going into 2026, we've got a lot of games in January. People, we got a lot of games in January, and we have to go and deal with these teams. You know what I mean? We've got, I think, at the moment, the players that are out is Mosquera. Obviously, what's the other guy? Mosquera, Matt Downs. There's another player, and obviously Declan Rice. He might be back. Because now we've got pretty much all the complements of our attacking players there, which is crazy. But is he going to rotate? That's the big question. Is he going to rotate? Let me just have a quick butchers. And this will tell me. I can tell you. So I think it's Calafiori, Mosquera, and Dalman, and currently Declan Rice, but they were saying that might be yeah, no problem, bruv. They're saying that might be just a precautionary, and I'm hoping that is the case. But even so, we need to manage his minutes now, because this guy is literally running on fumes. He is running on fumes. The people are calling him a machine, but bro, he's gonna seize up, and if he sees up, bro, it's going to be peak for us. Yesterday, as I said in my match reaction, I said we did it without our main man. We did it without our main man. And listen, I was absolutely impressed by, and I'm going to get Aaron's thoughts on Paul Merson's thoughts, and all the top gooners saying that, we're going to easily win the league. So when he comes on, I want to kind of get his thoughts on that. But we have to protect our players. Arteta, all I'm asking of you is to make sure that when you go into games now. First of all, what we saw second half, where you literally came out a totally different team. What you said to them, I don't know. I don't know whether it was them that took it upon themselves to go out there and take the game by the scruff of the neck. You know what I mean? Because when they got beaten at Villa Park, and that last minute dagger from Benduea, yeah, they were all out on their feet. They were all out on their feet. And, you know, the noise around it was like they're seeking revenge and Arsenal are going to seek revenge and blah, blah, blah. And look, I'm just saying that Aston Villa are a very good side. And they've got, a small squad that they've got to work with. They're in Europe and that. And obviously with the PSR affected them as well. That's one of the problems. So for him to do what he's doing with that side, if he had the kind of money that Mikel Arteta had, you know, he would be flying. He will be flying. What he's going to do in January, we don't know. And that's one of the things as well. The January window is opening up. And, not too long from now, you know, the cogs will start to move. The cogs will start to move. So we're going to have to see exactly what happens coming. Who needs players? We know that Semenyo is going to end up at Man City. And the thing is, he might end up still playing against us when we go away to Bournemouth on I think it's Saturday we play them. So, look, we got to go to Bournemouth. We got to deal with them. Bournemouth have been up and down. Do you know what I mean? They drew the game, came from behind and drew their game against Chelsea, but they haven't been, brilliant. They haven't been brilliant. They lost to Nottingham Forest 4-1. We are a better side than Nottingham Forest. Let's impose ourselves on these guys. Let's not go there to try and control games. Yeah? Let's not go there to try. Let's go there and put teams away. Then you can control the narrative. Because what happens now, the guys are going to, the team that we've put 2 or 3 past are going to be chasing the game. But what we mustn't do is get into the habit of sitting back and letting them come on to us, because that's one of the worst things. I remember going back years ago, and when we went away to Newcastle, 4-0 up. How on earth? Can somebody tell me how on earth we drew that game 4-4? People in the chat, how did we draw that game 4-4? I remember the game at the Emirates, and Bentley scored that goal, and then we took over, won the game. And I think it was Lennon that scored that last minute. It was Harry Redknapp was in charge of Tottenham at the time. Those games hurt, man. They hurt. I was watching reruns of them. They hurt badly, people. They absolutely hurt. So look, yesterday, great. You had Wolves. Now look like a triangle. Why? Because they've got another point. 6 October, the only team to let them become a triangle is Man United. And if Waha is in the chat, bro, what's going on with your club? What is going on? Why has Ruben Amorim reverted back to type? He's reverted back to type. Gary Neville, not happy. Not happy. Come on, guys, people, let's get those likes up. Get those likes up, man. Keep smashing those likes up. At one time, there was 20 plus people in there. So I want to see those likes up, bro. I want to see those likes up. I know there's other podcasts going on and stuff like that. So I'm fighting, you know what I mean? But listen, we're over here doing our little thing. But yeah, no. So I'm really pleased. But now what we need to do is build on it. We have to build on this win and go into the Bournemouth game. And then after the Bournemouth game, I believe we got that massive game against Liverpool at home on the 8th January, Thursday the 8th. So I think that's an 8 o'clock kickoff. And as I said, Paul Merson, when they were talking to Paul Merson about this, he was saying that now that we've got, we're going to be playing all the big teams at the Emirates. Essentially what he's saying is that our away games are going to be much more easier in terms of that, because we played all like the big teams away, and the only team that we haven't played is Man City, the Shark, and they're slowly moving along, guys. They're slowly moving along, slowly moving along, and their players are starting to click. On the agenda tonight, obviously the rest of the guys are not here, so I appreciate that. But listen, I'm gonna sort of mull it all in, and just listen to me chatting away like an idiot. But Pep has now key players clicking, which is now ominous for the Premier League. you know, you've got the likes of Ryan Chertsky, I mean, and Reinders scoring. I mean, if you look here, Ryan Chertsky, 7 assists, and he scores as well against Nottingham Forest. That was a tough game. That was a tough game. I mean, they play tomorrow. They go away to Sunderland, and then I think they've got Chelsea at home. Listen, what can we do? What can we do? We got to focus on ourselves, but what can we do? And, you know, you look at Reinders clicking, you know, these guys were at one point sitting on the bench, you know what I mean? And now he's integrated him into the side, and now they're starting to click. Seven assists, you know what I mean? Foden on, I said, 7 goals. The second highest goal scorer behind Haaland. He's now got more goals than our top goal scorer, which is, I think it's Glock and Trossard now on equal amount of goals. So, you know, we need to get Glock clicking. It's tough for him at the moment. And he must have looked at that, and when he saw Jesus come on and after a minute slot it away, he's thinking, is that going to really galvanize him, or is that going to put even more pressure on Victor Gyökeres? You know what I mean? I think he needs to do his business. I know when we was on Aaron's show, we was talking about Victor Gyökeres, and Aaron was sort of saying that, look, he needs to do more. You know, I mean, it can't just be the fact that he ain't getting no service. I would say 70 to 80% it's a system issue and the rest of the players not trusting him, and the other 20%. Let me add Aaron. Big up to Aaron. Whoa, what you say, bruv?
Evening, sir. What are you doing?
Belated Christmas. Happy pre-New Year. Let's get you fully on. Let's get you fully on the screen. Let's get you fully on the screen. Yeah, man. How you say, man? Big up to you. Listen, the rest of the gang obviously not here tonight, but it don't matter. It was quite funny doing this as a solo thing. I've never spoken for so long. Well, when I say spoken, doing that live. You know, normally I'm doing pre-recorded stuff, so I ain't got nobody coming back at me. But look, I saw you in the chat, and I said, "Chat, man, hasn't been on a little while."
You scraped the bottom of the barrel, and I'm here.
But going forward in the future, I need to get you on more. I absolutely need to get you on more.
Oh,
OGs,
yes,
the OGs, man. But listen, Aaron, talk to me about last night, bro. Talk to me about last night, my friend. I mean, game of two halves. A game of two halves on Monday under the OGs. You know, you had your concerns about Victor Gyökeres, and and let's just get this straight, guys. This is not an echo chamber on the OGs. We will have disagreements, but we're not going to start offering each other out for a fight. See you down at the Emirates. All right.
What's that noise? What's that noise? You know, the Christmas year's gone, mate. You know, you better agree with what I'm going to say next, Norm. Otherwise, you'll knock me out. You know
what I mean? Big up, what's that? Gianni, big up to the two bros, Aaron and Orsi. I hope you have a great New Year. Yep, definitely. Likewise. We will have a great New Year. I'm sure Aaron's going to be drinking Ribena, and that's all. Yeah.
well, do you know what?
Oh my God!
That's one of the kids. I have got a beer. However, you run a clean show, so I will not be
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Or showing anything on screen.
Thank
so
you,
that's
put
over to the side. And to be fair, I actually had work today, so I'm they're all still in the fridge. So
okay, fair play to you.
Yeah,
but
no,
I didn't think
I had work. Go on, sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say, just talk to me about last night. Your thoughts on the game, watching the game, hearing the news that Declan Rice was going to be out. Something that we knew at some point was going to happen. And when you saw the team news and it was going around social media that it doesn't look like Declan Rice is going to make the side, there was news that Timber might not even be in the side, and California thinking we're going with an absolutely depleted side up against a machine like Aston Villa with their midfield. Do you know what I mean? That I don't think up until that point we hadn't beaten Unai Emery at the Emirates. So you're going in there thinking, oh my word, because we were saying on Monday, maybe 2-1, 1-1. I think DJB said 2-1 to Aston Villa, maybe 3-1. But how wrong was we?
Yeah.
So what was your thoughts on the game?
Listen, how wrong was we, and how grateful are we that we were wrong, especially if you picked a loss like DJB may or may not have. I can't quite remember either, but I'm sure he might have as well. I can sort of half remember with you. Do you know what sort of sticks into my head? And it's something that I said on that Monday show as well. And I think it rings true. It is, whilst, yes, would you have took a win in any old fashion yesterday by hook or by crook is one of the things. Yes, we all would have. But is that what this Arsenal team needed prior to that football match? No. And I sort of, I alluded to it and I just thought, do you know what? I'm sort of tired. It feels like for the 18 games prior in the Premier League, all I've said, Norms, all I've said, chat, please like and subscribe to Norms. The fact that he's not on 1K is a crime. Honestly, lawyer up, Norms. There's something not right here.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe if I say Arteta Arena, I don't know.
Yeah, 4K.
No, but you know what I mean. 4K, lose more subscribers.
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
But yeah, you know, it's not what we needed. We fell over the line plenty of times, and when you say take it in snippets, and that's how I look at seasons, in snippets, and I'll explain what I mean. If you look at the last 8 games, Arsenal Football Club, they've won, drew, one lost. It's not been convincing, and then 1-1-1. But none of it's been convincing, Norms. There wasn't, aside from the month where we played Tottenham and Bayern Munich, that was a long time ago. We haven't looked convincing since then. And we were on a 3-game Premier League winning streak prior to Aston Villa. And of course, we'd have all took 3 points. Absolutely, of course we would have. It's a very tricky fixture for Arsenal. But if you flip that to the point that I'm going to make now and what I said on Monday, why don't you go out there and hammer the team? Now, none of us predicted that, and I didn't either. I didn't either. I will just add that, by the way. But what Arsenal needed to do, they actually done for a change. Now, we know it's only 1 game. It's only 1 fixture. There is still 19 left. But the point that I'm saying is Arsenal Football Club needed that performance because let's just say we scored an own goal and 2-1, we won the game. Okay, yeah, cool. You know, you go on a 4-game winning run. You did beat Aston Villa, who were Europe's form team at the time. But you've not really proved anything. You know, you've got over the line, yes. But the team what I'd expect anyway is the team's going in there and going, yeah, that was a cool win. What are they going to be like in that changing rooms after? What I called for on Monday night was an emphatic win. Now, the timing almost couldn't be any more perfect for that. We'd won 3 games in a row in the Premier League. And you've got Aston Villa at home, a face that you correctly said, that you correctly said, Norms, we haven't beaten under Unai Emery at home. We also suffered that last-minute loss to them earlier this month. There's spice between the 2 managers. We all know that there's something there. There's a little bit of spice between the 2 teams. And you know, Aston Villa at the time, I think it maybe league form, maybe in tie form. I don't know. We're probably the form team in Europe. We're playing them at home, a big team. It's an excellent stage for Arsenal Football Club to demonstrate and show that they've not turned a page because it was never going to be like that. But maybe just turn the page in terms of performances. Let's just keep it at that. And that's what Arsenal Football Club needed to do. And do you know what? That's what they done. We got a 4-1 win. All right, at the end of it. I don't really like letting people off.
Just sorry, Aaron.
Yeah,
I was saying, please, just get me a clean sheet. Honestly, my standards was like when that goal went, I was thinking, come on. And you can imagine how Ray felt. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Do you know what I mean? But look, I'm asking a bit too much. You know what I mean? I'm being a bit too, you know what I mean?
Listen, it's one of them. I don't want to be on record for sort of saying, you know, I'm allowing this football team to have a lapse of concentration when it gets to the last stages of the game. I would have been furious if it was 2-0 and we'd allowed that sort of lapse in concentration because we've all sort of seen it, like the Brighton game. You concede 1 goal, all of a sudden a dominant game as such turns into a wow, you know, and they had an excellent chance, Brighton, for 2-2. That's Premier League football. That's top flight football. These are top athletes. You're going to get that. So I didn't want an Ollie Watkins to score on the 93rd minute or whatever it is, and us have to endure 5 more minutes at 2-1. Yeah. However, whilst I still do not condone it, at 4-0, I can kind of just give them a little pass. Yeah. You know what I mean? We want us to play at full measure for 90 minutes plus. However, when you're 4-0 up, okay, you let your foot off the gas a little bit. You can kind of accept it at 4-1. It is what it is. But what does it do for me in terms of where I see Arsenal going? Now, me and you, Norms, this world-class chat, we're not foolish enough to suggest that, oh, that's it now. We beat Aston Villa 4-1. We're going to win the title. Norms, I hope I see you at the parade because we beat Aston Villa 4-1. That's that, you know. Where's the Champions League final? Norms, I'll pay for your ticket. Come on, let's go. We're going to win it all. But what I do feel, Norms, is a little bit more confidence now. Because granted, Bournemouth ain't on great form and they're on next Premier League match away, by the way, and we haven't got a great record there. No. But after watching us play like that, I'm not going to walk around, bouncing around with my chest out going, we're going to absolutely hammer them. But I am a bit more confident. And I tell you what, that's not a bad place to be when you're a fan sort of like us who are a little bit more cautious. Not cautious because that's who we are, cautious because of what we've seen over a vast amount of time. I'm a little bit more confident now, and that's what I want to be. And what breeds confidence, Norms? Winning games. And not just winning games consecutively. And not just winning games consecutively, but winning games well. That's what Aston Villa that's what Manchester City are doing. We're looking beyond our shoulders. We're looking beyond there. Now we've got to go to Bournemouth on the back of a very good performance. And I'm feeling a little bit more confident, and that's what it's all about. It's too early to make any sort of suggestions. Way too early. It's only one performance. My mind ain't changed on anything. But what a performance. What a second half, and fair play to him.
So I thought I'd bring this up. I said I was going to ask you while she was getting herself sorted out. And as you can see from the statement from Paul Merson, I love this guy. Fantastic, player for Arsenal. Absolute legend, and you know a lot of the. I'm not tuning into one AFTV fan cam, and I probably kind of guess what they're going to be saying right now. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm hearing you know, bottom gooners take that, hold that. I mean, look, what is it? What do you mean hold that? We won the game.
It's so heavy, Norms. Oh, I've dropped it again. It's just so heavy.
We've won a game. Why do we need to hold that for? Did we, Aaron? Did we say on Monday on your show that we wanted Arsenal to lose? Do you recall saying that? I don't.
No.
Unless I'm in an alternate universe.
Norms, to be fair, if you was to go around all the 19 games, actually include all the games, and get all of our predictions, we probably have said 95% of the time about an Arsenal win, or you know, there's probably been but that's dismissed very quickly, isn't it? Because it's so easy when we come in with arguments, Norms, of either factual based opinions or at least a compelling argument based on just an opinion, not facts. The easy way to dismiss it when you haven't got the footballing intelligence, like a lot of these guys have, is just to go, you have an agenda, you don't know what you're talking about. It's so easy to dispel, isn't it? You know, and then all of a sudden we've got a backtrack and carry on. It's
But just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, listen, as I said, Paul is a legend, but this doesn't help when you say it just mounts more pressure. And the fact is, because he said it now, a lot of these top goons are going to jump on this now. Well, Paul Merson said it. I mean, half the time they don't like him anyway, but he's now come out and said, like, you know, we're going to dismantle by dismantling Aston Villa the way we did in that second half is a statement result, and Man City will be, as I say, they're going to be looking. They got a game tomorrow away to Sunderland. It's not going to be an easy game for them, but it's like what he's basically trying to say is that in his conversation was that, you know, we've played all the top teams away, and the only top team that we are going to face is Man City. So all the top teams now that are going to be coming to us, we should be dealing with them. And he's literally saying we're going to walk this league. I mean, is he gone a little bit too far? This is the question.
Yeah. Do you know what? As well? And I will break it down a little bit more. What Paul said. Do you know what this does? It validates all of these top gooners' opinion, and that's why I'm so disappointed with Paul for coming out of this. Because if you're an gal, if you're a positive Dan and co, if you're that sort of type of fan, you're looking at what Paul's just said and you're thinking, see, there you go, we're going to walk it. It validates you. And for me, I sort of wonder if, because Paul's not, he's all right. He's not a pundit that you'd say generally always gets carried away with things like that. He says some things, of course, off the cuff. But I wonder if you sort of gave him a morning. This morning, if you asked him the same question, if he'd used the same words. And now, look, at the end of the day, we're all, maybe to us, to sort of a massively lesser extent, look, he's live in front of many, many, many thousand, maybe hundreds.
Millions.
In the end, people are watching it back, maybe millions of people. And, you know, sometimes you say things sort of off the spot or whatever. Yeah. I think he'll look back on that and maybe just go, yeah, we'll walk it. It'd be easy. Probably not the choice words that you sort of said, because, you know, if this was a win, Norms, that took us 7 or 10 points ahead of Manchester City, I would then go, okay, Paul, like, you know, there's not really much room for criticism, is there? Because then you'll go, okay, yeah, you know, we've just beaten the Europe's informed team. We've gone 7-10 points clear of the Premier League. Okay, yeah, it is starting to look quite good. Maybe still not easy, but I can get that he's just lobbed that word out there because of the vast point difference.
Yeah.
This is 5 points clear. And look, listen, no one's criticising that. We were Christmas champions 2 years ago, and then we lost to West Ham at home 2-0, and then we lost to Fulham. And that very quickly turned around, didn't it, Norms?
Yep,
and we spent the very first day of January not top because of that. So look, credit also has to be given there. However, I think when you put, are you able to put that picture back up again? With Paul Merson there, just very quickly.
Get that there.
I think the first bit there is, I think they will win the Premier League quite easily after dismantling Villa. Nah. But what he says after, it was a statement result. Yes, absolutely. And Manchester City will be watching. Absolutely. Manchester City, let's get it right. Manchester City and their fans, all their players and their manager would have been watching that game. They don't play for another 2 days. They all would have been watching that game and probably thinking, wow, yeah, this is a real good opportunity for us to play on New Year's Day and go top of the Premier League on goal difference minimum.
And go into 2026. So the psychological statement of that alone, and I think they looked at that fixture, this particular fixture, and when they heard Declan was out, the fact that you know, Unai Emery's team has gone on a 10 winning unbeaten run, 11 wins.
11,
in a row. Do you know what I mean? So you're thinking, how are we going to do this with players? How are we going to do this? And we don't do well against Unai Emery at the Emirates. So with all of that combination of everything, they must be rubbing their hands together. It must have been a sickening feeling when they saw the way we turned it on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Paul goes on to say they will be thinking, wow, after that from Arsenal. And absolutely, that bottom half of what he said, double thumbs up. The top half, sorry, Paul. Yeah. I loved you as a player. I really like you as a pundit. I've met him a couple of times anyway, in general. Fantastic man, fantastic player for Arsenal. But to win it quite easy, Paul. Him of all people know how difficult it is to win a league title. I mean, he was part of an '89 squad that were racing it, then got pegged back, and then had to win it in magical circumstances. Sorry, Miss Normski. I know you're a Liverpool. I'm very sorry.
If you're watching, Miss Normski, if you're not watching,
very sorry. Very sorry, Miss Normski.
Get in there.
But yeah, I just think. It validates. There'll be a lot of Top Gunners on YouTube watching that and sort of going, see, Paul's saying it, or they'll just broad it and go, the pundits are saying, everyone on Sky Sports are saying, they'll sort of lean it like that. It probably will just be narrowed down to 2 points in 2 days, or 1 day time, because we're at the 31st. And that's where I just always sort of just want to promote caution, not because I want people, to be miserable, as we're sort of called. Not because I don't want them to have their fun. If you think Arsenal's still going to walk it, all the power to you. Sometimes I wish I could have a similar mindset. However, my feet are on the floor in planet Earth, and all I can think is the natural thoughts that come out of me. Yeah,
I mean, look, it was great. We could go over the top and do all of that stuff, but sometimes we just have to just press the brakes. We're halfway through the season. As I get, if we're 10, 15 points on, then I might be sort of plugged into the matrix and talking like them. But at the moment, I'm not. I'm
yeah. You're in
conscious.
Zion.
I'm very conscious that things can change very quickly, and we've seen this. This is we've seen it over the last 2-3 years. Do you know what I mean? The evidence is there. So therefore, we back what we see, and then we say, okay, well, they bottled an 8-point lead. They couldn't chase down City in the second time round, and then we didn't even challenge last year. Okay. So that's what I'm basing it on. I can't even look back on what I've seen, and from that, I base it. If it was a case of, I mean, you look at Man City, who wins it 4 times in a row. So when they have a slump, it's like a shock to them. It literally is like a shock to, like, what's going on? How have you managed to drop so far after going 4 Premier Leagues wins in a row, and the football that you've been playing is absolutely out of this world, and then all of a sudden, bang, at some point it has to come to an end. And when we talk about consistency and sustainability, and you know, a lot of these guys are gonna say, oh, you know, up until this point it is sustainable, because they're gonna say we're still top of the league, we haven't lost, but really, is it sustainable? The thing is, right, Aaron, I'm gonna say to you then, right, if Arsenal play like they did in the second half yesterday, would you be more confident in saying playing like that is more sustainable than what you saw before?
Oh, look, absolutely. I was while she was making that point, I knew what you were going to say, and I was trying to think how far I can extend it. If that was Arsenal's, and obviously I know, by the way, we're not going to be blowing teams, especially the bigger teams, 4-0 or scoring 4 against them. I know and appreciate that. But if that play style, if that level of performance was our base level, you know, that's sort of what we're used to. Sometimes we don't get the results, but attacking the game, playing that sort of style of football, peppering goals, taking some chances, whilst it ain't always going to happen every game, I'd be a lot more, I'm not saying I'd be very confident, but I would be a lot more confident of the league title. But sadly, Norms, that isn't the base level. That's not even anywhere close to it. Unfortunately, what we've seen over the last, say, 8 games, that is really, when you look over the last 2 seasons especially, that is significantly closer to the base level of Arsenal performance, sadly to say, than the second half of Aston Villa was. Now, we've got good enough players. There are poor enough teams. And you will always get good performances in seasons that can be 50, 60 games long. You will always get the good games that you go, yeah, that's fantastic performance. This, that, da-di-da-li-da-di-da. But it's the exception to the rule, sadly, at the minute, isn't it? That kind of performance. You know, we've. Let me answer it this way: would you expect Arsenal to go and put that performance in against Bournemouth, against Liverpool, against I can't think of actually we've got after that. My brain's failing me.
I think it's what is it after that? Who's it?
Yeah, right, let me get it.
I can't remember who we got.
Absolutely failed me there. Yeah. We've got Bournemouth, Liverpool, and then Nottingham Forest away. Manchester City at home, and then Leeds away. Now, if that was our preset level of performance, I'd probably be confident of taking somewhat near maximum points there. However, it's the exception to the rule, isn't it? Can we do it again? And let's just say we do just get it over the line against Bournemouth. Can we do it at home the next game to Liverpool? That's the one. You know, can we? I'm not expecting us to, like I said earlier, and I don't think you are, Norms. This team under this manager aren't going to be blowing teams away left, right, and centre.
No, because of our style, just based on our style, just based
exactly
on our style.
Right. Yeah. But we've clearly got it in the locker, and for me, if we can go and put a businessman-like performance against Bournemouth, who may be missing Semenyo, their star man, they may be, or at least, you know, his head might be gone if he is sort of forced to play. I expect that deal to be wrapped up within 48 hours, so it's likely that he isn't going to play. So they're going to be down a man. They're not in great form, Bournemouth, and they haven't been over the last 10 plus games.
That's right.
If you can put a workman's-like performance in there and get a 2-0 or something like that, that is job excellent done. We don't have to blow every team away. That would be excellent. If we can just put in a confident, dominant performance against Bournemouth, excellent. But I do expect Arsenal Football Club, when we play Liverpool the following week, to be able to go and have enough chest to go, well, we're going to play Marino and we're going to set up this and we're going to have a defensive game. No. The time for respecting Liverpool too much was 4 months ago. Arsenal should be top dogs now. Liverpool have fallen off a cliff. I want us to go out there and attack the game. Now, again, you know, we've got Nottingham Forest away. We don't usually do that great there. I probably don't expect us to go and blow them away, but I do expect us to attack to some good degree and also be able to be confident and dominant in that game. And then we've got Manchester United at home. Copy and paste Aston Villa and Liverpool, Normski. You know, these are the games I expect us to be able to mix it up and be able to turn it on. And Norms, we haven't seen enough of that.
We haven't. That's the thing. I think this is the thing is, that's what I'm saying. I think, I don't know if I said it on the show or if I didn't say it on the show, I may have had a conversation with somebody just concerning like the Atletico Madrid game, the Bayern Munich game. Those are the sort of games where we rocked up and just all of a sudden came out second half, bang. It's like, what happened there? Now, the thing is now, we should be doing that in the first half. The way I look at it, because I don't think, personally speaking, and I know DJB, big up to DJB all the time, he was saying that I want to see that 90 minutes from minute 1 to minute 90. I don't think we could play at that level. Yeah, we've seen Arsene Wenger teams come and blitz teams after 30 minutes, and then they just say they have the ball, and then literally when it breaks down, we hit them on the counter. If we can do that, where we've got it in our locker, as you said, Aaron, we've got it in our locker, blitz teams, and then do the controlling thing. Not do it at the start of the game where it was just literally control, pass, and in that game,
finding out, isn't it? Finding out.
And he's like, I'm going to make that move. I'm going to make that chess move, and then before you know it's checkmate. Do you know what I mean? What we need to do is go in there and take the game to them, impose your game on them. Because I said it earlier on about why we have said that we always face low blocks. Every top team faces low blocks. The difference with those top teams is that they move the ball a lot quicker than us. So all the time, every time we play the ball out, I counted at one point where the ball was in our half with our defenders for 30 seconds before it went over the other side. It's passed to him. And 30 seconds is a long time. Because I see people move the ball really quick. And you've been at the Emirates because you're a season ticket holder, so you would have seen how long it takes for them to get from front to back. And the problem is by that time, the other team has set and they say break us down. Aston Villa just said play in front of us. And any chance we get an opportunity to nick that ball of you, counter pressure you, and then hit the ball either over the top, which they did a couple of times, or Onana, who they missed second half because he was just running through us like, you know, a hot.
There was that one time, wasn't there, Norms?
Yeah.
Where it wasn't as if it was like Thierry Henry or Eden Hazard running through you. It was just he was running with power and pace, and Zubimendi and Odegaard just went. I was like, it's not twisting people up left, right, and centre.
No, he was just running in a straight line. He was running in a straight line
and going. I'm thinking, where is everyone?
Yeah, where are they?
We're on about the same bit. Yeah.
And the thing about it, it's like, in post matches, Arteta will come out and say, we dominated the game and blah blah blah. We control the game and whatever. But then hearing what he says and seeing the game with your own eyes is two different things. Because one thing about Arsenal, because Arteta is so adamant in playing this 4-3-3, when you come up against teams that play like 4-2-3-1, where they have more in the midfield, then they tend to be controlling that midfield more than us. Where we have the control is when we play out from the back and then we slowly progress the ball up the front.
Yeah.
And then we get it out to Odegaard. Odegaard plays it out to Saka. Saka then runs up a little bit, cuts back, recycles it back to Odegaard. Odegaard then plays it back to Zubimendi. Zubimendi then plays it back to Saliba. Saliba goes, go forward. No, I'm going to play it back to Raya. And then we go again. That's just controlling the game. That's not dominating the game. That's controlling the game. Domination is about going in, imposing yourself on them, because it's not, having possession is not always the case. Teams can win games and have less possession than the opposition. We have to dominate
effectively do that. I mean, Leicester built that model when they won it. There you go. They just soaked it all up and then bang, one quality ball over to Mahrez or to Vardy and Salah. You've just been counted to
Yeah.
So you know, you've just been countered. You know, I'm PG, so I'm yeah.
But
Don't
just one
worry,
quick
I'm ahead
question.
of the
Do you
game,
think?
Norms.
Do you think though? And DJ B said it, but do you think that? I don't think you know, you've got to look at people like Liverpool who can play like that relentlessly. I don't think Arsenal, not to say they're not a fit side, but I just don't think they've got it in them, especially with the amount of injuries they've got and people that are playing in the red zone. Yeah. It's like a relay race, Aaron. We said on the show. One comes in, right? So Declan Rice says, right, I'm ready. I've taken the sick button. Yeah. You come in, right, I'm gonna be on the, you know what I mean? And that seems to be always the case. Listen, at the moment now, we've now, aside from that, we've now got a full complementary of attacking players now on the bench. Yeah, it's only Declan Rice, Mosquera, Downham, and there's another player that's out, Calafiori.
Yeah,
that's the only players. Because now, my guy's just coming from 5 months out, Havertz, and unfortunately, the scapegoat is Ethan Ranmeri. What do we do with Ethan Ranmeri? Because he didn't even make the matchday squad.
Yeah, I mean, DJB always calls him Emil Smith. Sorry, Even Smith Rowe, doesn't he?
Yeah, Even Smith.
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know what worries me more about? Let me go from it in this angle. Do you know what worries me more about Ethan Nwaneri? When Eze can't even get on the field, what chance does Ethan Nwaneri have?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, when you put it like that, bro, what must he be thinking?
Yeah.
I saw him. Sorry, just to cut you right, Aaron.
Yeah.
There was an instant where the players, I don't know if it was a water break or a cutting breaking play, and the camera was on Arteta, focus on Arteta, but you could see Eze in the background. Did you see it?
Yeah.
The looks, if looks could kill.
Unhappy. Unhappy to be polite. Yeah. Because that's what I am on this show, polite.
Mate.
But yeah,
listen.
It's. I mean, you sort of sit there and think, okay, he can maybe play numerous and not a couple of positions, not numerous. Let me put it down there. You think, oh, it's played on the right hand side. Well, when Saka goes off, Madueke's coming on.
Yeah.
And if Madueke ain't coming on because Saka's staying on, which we've also seen, then how is Ethan Nwaneri going to be able to also then beat Madueke? If some games Madueke don't even come on for Saka, who needs a rest?
Yeah.
You are
for his own sanity, Aaron, for his own sanity, he needs to pick up the phone, speak to his agent, and just say, get me a move, a loan move. I don't want him to go because I feel that he's got a lot to offer Arsenal. Now, look, if Arteta goes on and wins the league, fair play to him. You go again next year, and if you don't win the league, I want you out. But I want you to bring back, because he done it with Saliba, and a lot of people are going to say, well, look what he did with Saliba. He put him on loan and he's come back and brilliant. So they're trying to use that same analogy with Ethan Nwaneri. Yeah,
it doesn't work. It don't work. It doesn't work purely because what we got to remember as well is when, obviously with Saliba, he's one position guy for a start. Exactly. It's just centre back. There's no right back. There's no left back. It's just centre back. Exactly. And when you look at the players in Arsenal's centre back at the time, Mustafi, Socrates, kind of easy for him to come back, isn't it? You also had COVID. He wouldn't have spent 2 seasons out alone. He'd have spent one without COVID. Exactly. So when you're sort of looking at that, Saliba had an unbelievable pathway there. And then you're sort of looking now at Ethan Nwaneri's, whether it be at Cam, whether it be at that right wing, you're now looking at a player that Mikel Arteta loves and adores and absolutely runs into the ground in Saka. His signing in Madueke, so that avenue is almost, that's that. And both of them are young, and Madueke's also a young son himself. I think he's only 21, 22. So we're not sort of looking at a 26, 27-year-old or a 25-year-old. We're also looking at another young player. And then, like what I said earlier, you then go into the central midfield, and then you're looking at Odegaard and Eze. And then you're thinking, it's a total different analogy. I can see why they're saying it, but it's very, very easy to debunk, isn't it? Very easy. No, it's two total different scenarios.
Yeah, definitely. But look, what the team did yesterday, it was great. I met my son, my daughter. We was just going crazy. We was just going crazy in that front room, mate, when the goals went in. Because I just didn't, because in my match reaction, I said we did it without our main man, and I did not expect that. But
I'm missing
Gabriel.
Norms, sorry.
Yeah. Gabriel came in, and that is what I call a true captain, a absolute true captain. This guy is like when he's on the field, the players they just get lifted, and him getting that goal. And look, Martinez. Look, I don't know if you saw it, Aaron. I know you're away, but there was a bit where they showed it on it's on Insta where he was Martinez had the ball and he was stretching in the gangway at the Emirates, and he wasn't letting anybody by. And then after,
I didn't see that.
Oh,
No,
mate,
no. I'll
see
have to go back.
Martinez doing that, and then the next segment was when he was being pulled away after everybody was cussing him and saying all the blue words you can think of.
when was this, Norm? Sorry,
yesterday, in the tunnel.
In the tunnel before or after, obviously.
So when he was doing his stretches, he had the ball. This is before the game started, and then the next sequence is when you watch the next sequence is when he was getting cussed, and the security guards had to pull him away. I like Martinez. He's a bit of a character. I'm not going. He's a bit of a character. But a lot was happening in that game yesterday, Aaron, where he was time wasting. There was a level of
from minute one.
From minute one. Do you know what I mean? As soon as they went down a few goals, he was getting that ball back up the field as quick as he could.
Yeah. Oh, some of the lightning passes that he was making was actually pretty good.
Exactly.
But you know what though? Do you know what I will say, Norms? It's like what you're absolutely speaking facts, by the way, and I'm not going to disagree with a single thing that you said. And I know you're going to agree with what I'm going to say now. We know that anyway, don't we? With Aston Villa, we've seen it, whether it be home and away. Yeah. The trick Arsenal have to do with Aston Villa, and they didn't do, but they actually did in the second half, is score early. Yeah. Because we all know when we go to Emery's Aston Villa or Emery's Aston Villa come to Arsenal, they are going to do that from minute one. And to be fair, it's been successful for them. So from an Arsenal point of view, it almost makes it more frustrating to another point that you was making earlier, Norms, in that Arsenal should be starting quicker and then putting the sort of brakes on and dominating the game. Because it's easier said than done, Norms, and you can't do it to every team. You can't do it to every team. However, if you go out there with that intent and you get a goal within 10 minutes against Aston Villa, go within 20 minutes against Aston Villa. Yeah. All of a sudden, like what you quite rightly said there as well, Norms, their tricks stop. Martinez goes from going, oh, right, I'm going to go down. All of their left backs, all of their defenders, all of their they stop going down with a quick knock for 5 minutes, don't they? You know, all of that all of a sudden stops. And whilst it's very frustrating, we also do parts of that, and it's part of football. Frustratingly,
last year or the year before, it was Arsenal parts, set piece FC, all of that. We was doing it. So, come on, let's just be fair. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. And you knew that Unai Emery had a game plan. He had a game plan. He was going to say, let them have the ball. We know that we've got quicker players than in the sense of attacking players. Do you know what I mean? And we've got a stronger midfield. So, you know what I mean? And then that was a massive miss with Onana, going off injured.
Kamara, you mean? Yeah. Oh, and Onana going off.
And Kamara obviously was injured,
absolutely.
I imagine if Kamara was in there, it would have been a different. And that's why I'm thinking to myself, we need, look, for me, it was a sensible buy. Norgard is a sensible buy. That's why he's only played 2 games for Arsenal. Arteta obviously doesn't trust him. Zubimendi, though, I think Zubimendi needs to play more forward because for what I saw yesterday, he looks more effective playing as a. Not I'm saying because he's not that kind of player where he plays as an 8. I'm just saying he's just more of an attacking 8 because you saw him in an advanced position, right?
Yeah.
And obviously we know Deckers can play anywhere on that pitch. I mean that
is unbelievable.
He's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
But you can imagine Deckers in that 6. Do you know what I mean? Deckers playing in that number 6 and then you got Zubimendi more advanced. And yesterday, a captain's performance, second half from Odegaard. So listen, we don't always have a go at the guy, but yesterday you did what you was meant to do. You scored in the last game, fantastic. Keep it going. That's all I want for Christmas.
Consistency from your captain. 100%. And do you know what as well? You make a good point there, right? And let me add on to it, if I may. I think Zubimendi, then, if you're sort of going there, he does look a lot better when he's going forward, and it's not very he looked good going forward yesterday.
Yeah.
When he's your number 6, especially when he's your sole number 6,
Yeah.
I'm worried, Normski. And I'm not worried because I've got an agenda against Zubimendi.
No,
why would I do that? I've got better things to do with my life.
Yeah.
But I've looked at him and I thought, wow, we look very, very sus with him just as a number 6. Do you know what I think we should do with that, Norms? Maybe we should just look for an actual, I don't know, this sounds ridiculous in itself. Maybe we just need to look for another proper number 6 and just have Zubimendi as our Declan Rice cover. Maybe, just as that left 8 bombing up.
But you know what? Though? There's a massive problem there, Aaron, and that's Mikel Arteta's baby. That's another one of his babies.
Of course, so, it's too much logic.
It's too much. So, in an ideal world, if you want to build a squad like that, because him coming in and trying to be Partey's replacement. Sorry, not for me.
No way.
But can you imagine? Can you imagine? And that's why when you got all these players at your disposal, this season, the money that has been spent on this club, there's no excuse why we cannot go on and win or try and win a trophy. Because at the end of the day, we've been told that now we've got the pieces. Deal with it. You've got Glock. We was crying out for a striker because we was missing chance after chance after chance while Havertz was in that side. The reason why we was also missing chances because Jesus was never available. Right? Yeah. So if somebody's not available, then you ain't going to get no chances. It's simple as that. So we said we needed an out-and-out goal scorer. Now, we get it. We understand the Arteta system and that it doesn't really, what's the word I'm looking for? Facilitate a natural number 9. Yeah. More of a false 9. Yeah. Right? So Glock is an out-and-out. He plays on the shoulder. He runs into space. That's his thing. He's not the most technically gifted footballer. We know
he's not a good enough. If he wants to remain himself, he's not a good enough footballer under this system. Be able to
do whatever.
Harry Kane is because he's a very good footballer.
He's a very good footballer, like and he can come deep. Yeah. He can play off the shoulder, even though he hasn't got the pace no more. But he can do all of that.
Yeah.
He would probably do well. Victor Gokos would probably do well at Aston Villa. He would probably do well and bang it for Aston Villa as opposed to how we play, because it's about the striker picking up the ball, linking play, and all of that. Even a Giroud playing in this current squad would do well.
Do you know what? I haven't had a chance to say it on screen yet, but you're absolutely 100% right. Do you know what? Do you remember? Was Giroud on Sky Sports a week or two ago or something like that? Yeah. And I remember sitting there and having a look. Yeah, they had a little pop. But, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And I sit there and I had an opinion. I didn't say it on screen. I totally forgot until you excellently brought it back up. Giroud would actually be perfect in this because his link-up play
was ridiculous.
His finishing wasn't unbelievable. But I tell you what, them little flicks in it near
post. Little flicks, mate. Do you remember the season, Aaron? Do you remember the season when he was linking up with I think it might be was it the 2013 season with Aaron Ramsey?
That would have been when we just signed him that season, I think. We signed him 13-14.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. It's 12-13.
12-13, But there was a link-up thing that him and Aaron Ramsey, I think that season scored something like 12-13 goals. Literally every time he
unbelievable he was. It was just
it was just a link-up play.
Yeah.
And I think
he was fantastic.
That's what he did well. Because we was all you're thinking we've been crying out for a out-and-out striker, since obviously when we lost Van Persie, who goes to Old Trafford and wins them their 20th title, we're in the number 20 shirt on his back. I watched that the other day and I was like, what a player! But he said the little boy inside of me said I want to win something. But listen, I know it's hurting. Your face is going bright red, and you're about to say some expletives. So let's just move away from it. But look. In this system, Glock is not working right now. I'm going to give him time. But what I do see is that as soon as Kai Havertz comes back, and he's that You're looking at Glock as a third. Some people are saying maybe Glock starts, or it might have been Jesus starts or Havertz starts, and then you bring on Glock to maybe run the channels and whatever. It's unfortunate that Glock was now ended up as a guy that just creates space for the other attacking players. It's mad
It's
for a guy that's scoring
it's
so many goals in the Portuguese league to now being demoted to go out there and create me some space. You know what I mean?
and that's sort of what I was saying. And me and Shay didn't really have a debate. We just had a slight different sort of opinion, which, by the way, everyone is fine. And
It's
we can
fine.
do that.
Don't worry.
And,
We're allowed to do it.
smile after and laugh
You know what I
afterwards.
mean?
We're allowed to
You
do
know
it.
what I mean? Yeah, we went round after we went round the back. We had a big punch up, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. And there'll be no more OG shows.
Virtual punch up. You know what I mean? And Aaron said, "That's it. That's the end of the OGs. You don't agree with me? Get off my show."
No, that's that. Yeah, yeah. It's all gone. In fact, I'm quitting YouTube. That's that. One person slightly slight difference of opinion. That's it. But I'm off.
Big up Shane every time, man. What a guy.
And absolutely. And then he sort of mentioned, and I didn't get a chance to sort of add it on onto it. And he sort of said he puts 80% of it down to Arteta, and I wanted to use facts. Figures like that to sort of be able to quantify it, verbally. And we were speaking the same language, me and Shane. I was just only ever so slightly out. I would have gone 70-30 on 70 on obviously Mikel Arteta's system and 30 on Gyökeres. And I couldn't sort of help but sort of look at the opportunities that he got. And again, granted, yeah, I know a more confident striker probably takes it. And I know Shane and everyone else, and even myself, would have combated my own point I'm about to make with his heading ain't his strong point. I get that. I do get that. But he had two glorious chances. He did. Again, albeit, I do get the pushbacks on my argument here. And I even am pushing myself back into some extent. But when the back's against the wall, when it hasn't quite started well for you, and I know chances are few and far between, it ain't going for you and it ain't all your fault. I do all totally get that. However, as a man who's 27, who's supposed to be, one of the best in your position, not the best, he really isn't, and no one's ever claimed that, especially from our side of the field. But I'm looking at them two opportunities and many other opportunities that he's had throughout the season, and I'm thinking, do you know what? He just needs to be taking a few more of these. There was that opportunity against Brighton. I'll get all the pushbacks. But when do we stop saying or make sort of excuses for that and just go, do you know what? He needs to start putting these away.
I think I was watching DJB today and he was sort of saying he's not saying that Victor is a bad player. He's not saying that, and we're not saying that because what we know he's good at doing is scoring goals. Absolutely. But he was just saying that sometimes you're in a marriage and you're trying to make it work. You bring flowers and whatever, and then you make one mistake, and it's like, no, this just ain't working. And it's just better that we just go our separate ways. Now, at the moment, I'm just wanting this marriage to work out. That's where I'm at. I want the marriage to work out. We're going to help counsel you, Victor. You know what I mean? If you need some football marriage and counseling, bro. Me and Aaron are here. We can offer our services. Yeah, we got IT Solutions Limited. Look, it looks like Moreno is just kind of dropping off a little bit. Don't know what that guy does as a midfielder, but anyway, that's another conversation. But concerning Victor Glock, we've got to give him a little bit more time. Listen, I personally think he's 5 goals. He's joint top goal scorer with Trossard.
That's mad, isn't it? Though, just to interject. There.
I know. That
halfway through the season, top goal scorer with how many knobs did you just say?
I got 5 on it.
Are you going to be putting another hand up to say the rest of the scores, or is it just on the one hand?
Well, I'll say in total in all comps, though, he has got 7 goals in all comps, and that's 2 in the Champions League.
Champions League, yeah. That was Atletico, wasn't
it? Yeah. So, but look, at the end of the day, where we said, it was like a 30 goal a season, man. We said we was limiting ourselves. We've been conservative and saying, I don't see him getting anywhere between 10 and 15 goals. I don't know if he's going to even reach 10 at the moment, the way things are going. And once this year goes by and everything, if we do win the league, fantastic, whatever, that will give him a boost of confidence and whatever. But there's going to be conversations come the start of next year. People are going to be saying, the conversations will be, do, because the thing is with Gabriel Jesus, look, he's come back. He's hungry and he's doing what he needs to do. But I wouldn't be putting my money out on him because obviously he's paid a lot of money and he's prone to injury. And I would still sell him in the summer. You know what I mean? Contribute, and if you contribute and we win, fantastic. Do you know what I mean? But I will still sell you.
Do you know what? Just to quickly add on that with Gabriel Jesus, I've sort of only somewhat changed. I want him. I'd like to sell him in the summer. Okay, you know, and unless you know a real good bid came in for him this winter. You know, I mean, a real good bid. You know, where it's like, wow, this is good money for this guy. Yeah, you know what I mean. If we get a little a loan with an obligation of 4 million, I sort of think he's just for this 6 months. By the way, so please, I want to make sure that's absolutely clear. He seems to have come back, and considering that Gyökeres, I'd have said a different thing. If Gyökeres was flying and Havertz was coming back, I'd have gone, maybe we kind of don't need number 3. But because Havertz is obviously not came back just yet, he hasn't touched a bit of grass yet, and Gyökeres just hasn't hit it. I think it would be, unless it was an excellent deal now, and I'm going to change my mind on this, I think it would be quite maybe a bit naive, unless we was replacing or thinking of replacing him with another body to sell Gabriel Jesus or loan him out in this summer, because we're not using Ethan Nwaneri. We're not using him for that or in the wings at all. I think, even though he'll probably be, and I hope not, I hope he doesn't get a reoccurring injury or anything like that. He's shown a little bit promise, and I'm sitting there and thinking, do you know what? Maybe for these 6 months, Gabriel Jesus could pay his wages back to Arsenal Football Club. And by that, I mean, if we can win some form of silverware, Gabriel Jesus being fit, contributing, just like he did yesterday. I know it was goal 4, sorry. But, being in the squad, being another member to sub off, being able to start in the Carabao Cup, being able to rest in the league, if he can just pay us back that way and then just go in the summer, I'm quite happy with that. Or if our plans are, no, we're thinking of, another attacker at the expense of Gabriel Jesus, cool. I'm happy for him to go now. I just think it would be quite foolish now, given the circumstances that we know on the 31st of December. And sort of, I'm not saying he's playing unbelievable, but he's came back with little rustiness-ish. I think it'd be quite foolish to let him go and not replace him just for this season.
100. Definitely. Look, listen, I'm gonna, because obviously I've got to shoot in a bit, so I just want to just quickly get your thoughts on just before we go, and big up to the chat. Thank you for being here. I know there's other streams going on and that, so I really appreciate you guys being in the chat and contributing. And a big happy new year to everybody. We're not too far away from there. I'm gonna be going off to church to see it all in. So big up to everybody. Listen, let's have a great 2026. Yes, us cautious gooners, not bottom gooners. We're me, Aaron, and the gang. We're called the cautious gooners, mate. And this is what it's going to be. We're very cautious going into next year. It's a lot of games in January. Starting with Bournemouth. We play them on Saturday. And 9 games. And now, so I just want to get Aaron, just get your thoughts quickly on us going to Bournemouth. And how do you think, after coming off the back of an amazing win, what do you think the scoreline is going to be? Obviously, they're going to probably be missing Semenyo. I'm hearing that he might be around, according to their manager. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. But do you go there off the back of this confident? And what is your scoreline going to be?
Yeah, and I sort of very briefly touched on it earlier. I am, given that we're on a little bit of a run now, given that our last performance was so convincing, again, especially the second half of yesterday, of course. Yeah, I am a confident of a win. What that looks like in terms of scores, I think we'll score 2.
Okay. That's what I've got in my head. 2.
Am I going for a conceded? Do you know what? I think I'm going to go for a 2-0 here. Do you know what? I'm going to go for
Aaron, I'm going to be positive, and I'm not going to go 2-0 as well.
Positive. I'm going to go for 6-0. So no, I'm going to go for a 2-0. Because look, am I slightly-ish worried that there was some defenders rushed back? Yes, a little bit. I must admit. But there's nothing I can personally do about it. Do I expect Mikel Arteta, should there be no extra injuries, to have David Raya, Timber, Hincapié, and Gabriel, and obviously Saliba there? Yes. I'm excluding this for Declan Rice as well. I'm expecting him to not play.
Yeah.
I think
I've got a funny feeling he might be on the bench. I just got this mad feeling he's going to be on the bench because they said it was precautionary, but I would rather just go with use Norgard, man. You know what I mean? I know he's a sensible guy.
Yeah.
Use him.
Save him for
got a team there.
Save him for Liverpool. Exactly right. Because if you've got a Declan Rice now, look, he looked a little bit chipper on the in the stands. If there was something serious, he probably wouldn't have been jumping up and bouncing around.
Exactly.
However, like you quite rightly said, we managed Aston Villa at home. We should be able to manage Bournemouth away. If Declan Rice is, let's just throw a figure that we don't know about, but let's just say he could be 75, 80% ready, but we let him off. Now, maybe he could be 85% ready for the Bournemouth game, but then still remain 85% because he played it or get a knock. I would rather him just not play it and be 95, 100% ready for the Liverpool game. Because 100%. That's where you need a Declan Rice. And that's no disrespect to Bournemouth away. Arsenal should be in this sort of form now, and the ill form. Maybe they're
we needed something like this. I think if we had gone into the back of all these games where we were just getting over the line, and then we had a result where we just about beat Aston Villa or whatever, and they were pouring the pressure on. You're now going away to a Bournemouth side who like to close you down. They ain't going to give you a lot of time on the ball. But I think we're going into this game now off the back of this confidence. Jesus is going to be chomping at the bits, ready to go. And the fact that Gabriel Magalhaes, and especially when it comes to our set piece, look, that's one of our weapons. Let's use it. I'm not saying that's what we must rely on, but let's use that as part of our weaponry. And not only that, I want to see Odegaard playing those through balls. I want to see Glock, making those runs so that the other guys can score. Not really.
Yeah. And what we don't want to see from Odegaard is them. I know you need to go, Norm, so I'll make this quick. Them very frustrating clipped balls that he keeps doing. He done two of them quite early in the half. You know what I'm on about? They're clipped over the ball tops, and I sit there and I just think, dude, they are not working for you.
They're not.
Just pass the ball with conviction. Don't make it look pretty.
Stop it.
Just stop. Yeah.
Just play the through ball, man. He can do it. He's got it in his locker. He's got it in his locker. Do it, man. Use it, man. Do you know what I mean? And if we play with the intensity, we can go there and we can beat Bournemouth. So I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Arsenal. And
Norms, the 2-0, sorry to cut you, bud, but and that 2-0, that's starting to represent, by the way, a good bit of form. Now, let's just say we have won that. You're then, I think, on a 5 or 6 Premier League game winning run. I think it might be 5. But you've got some, albeit poor performances, you've got some real horrible games out the way. I.e. Aston Villa, Everton away is always tricky. All of a sudden now, when you can start putting positive wins, you can look back on them really ugly wins and go, all right, cool. Yeah, they were necessary in a period where we sort of needed that. However, if you keep doing that, you're going to tar all of that with the same brush. All of them fixtures are going to go, yeah, we haven't been playing well for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. However, when you start picking up them performances, you can go, do you know what? This was a little blip here. We wasn't playing good, but we managed to pick up quite a decent amount of opinions, and now we're different amount of points, sorry, not opinions, and now we're flying. That's what we sort of want, and that's what I want us to do. Businessman-like performance. We'd all love to win games 4-5-0, and if we do against Bournemouth, buzzing. But we're going to be so miserable. Obviously, we don't want us to win 4-0. We only want us to win 2-0. Obviously, why would we?
Why would we? We'd be told to hold that. Yeah, that's what we'd be told. Hold it. Oh, it's too heavy for you. Wait, Aaron, I'm going to throw it over to you.
Let's go to the gym. Jesus, Norman, too heavy, mate. Come on, man. Need
No,
to go
but
to the
listen,
gym.
No, but listen, Aaron, I want to thank you. But just before you go, I just want to quickly, to normally when we've got the rest of the gang on, Big D couldn't make it tonight, and I said condolences to him. He's lost his uncle and that, so that's why he wasn't able to make the show. And a lot of the other guys, I know they've got a lot of stuff going on today, so I want to big you up for coming on the show and jumping in the last minute and that. But yeah, I've got to get you on more. Do you know what I mean? You did well. You drank
Fucking
the
make
PG,
it.
you drank the PG tips, and that was brilliant. So just quickly, normally Big D would just go through the what's going on fantasy league thing, and basically, as you can see, you've got Capri Sun at the top of the league. This is game week 18 and 19. So next week's show, we will have the rest of the game week 19 and 20. So that will sort of make that complete. So as you can see, people, Capri, it looks like he's gone up.
And Ola in the fourth.
Huh?
Ola in the fourth. Go on,
Ola's in fourth place.
I like him. He's a
my
great guy.
my missus, Paul's Malcolm X, her name is Jay John. She's sitting in 17th place. She's dropped down she's on 974 points. She's trying to get that top 10 positions, and she's always having.
She's got the Liverpool form going on. She's got
the Liverpool form going on. So that is it for it. But Big D does this better. So I just thought I'd just share it with you. He did send it to me. And then the what's going on prediction league table, where we're predicting our games every week, different games. Big D out on 16 points after 18 games played. I'm in second place on 15 points after getting a correct outcome. Chile, who's the Tottenham guy, he also got the score. It was the Man City one. Not the exact score, because if you get it in green, it's the exact score and outcome. So those that got a red dot meant they didn't do too well. And actually, my son got that one wrong with the game week 18, because game week 18. Oh no, yes, he did get one.
So yeah, what team is your son for?
So Arsenal is Arsenal.
Oh yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, because I was looking at Norm's skin. I was looking at the badges, and I'm thinking,
yeah. So
please tell me he's not Chelsea or anything else.
So yeah, so there you have it. There you have it, people. That's the prediction league table game week thing. So game week 20 will be what you'll see next week, including game week 19. So the guys are already putting their predictions for game week 19. And then I'll be getting game week 20 on there. But listen, I want to say a big happy new year, pre-new year before it comes. Again, thank you, Aaron. Thank you to everybody that's come to the chat and have subscribed to me on the road, I say, to 1K. I'll just get there before the season is done. I'm sure I will get there, but I can only do it with your help, people. So I really want to thank everybody for supporting me throughout the 2025. And we look forward to a 2026 season where hopefully, and Chile, as he doesn't come on the show anymore. I have to have words with him. He's a Tottenham guy. He's saying Happy New Year to everybody. Their team,
even for a Spurs fan.
Yeah, he is, as a Spurs fan. You know what I mean? But big up to you, Chile, every time. Big up to you every time. And listen, we are out here, and my missus is looking at me. We're now finishing the show. And Aaron, just to say to you, happy. What did he say, Aaron? With the Liverpool, what was it? She's right at the door, Aaron. Do you remember what I used to do?
I said Normski's wife is beautiful. Don't listen to him. I said you're fantastic. I said what a team you support. Have a lovely new year.
Have a lovely new year.
I didn't say anything bad at all whatsoever.
And everything else.
Love you loads so much.
Listen, big up to everybody. My missus is there waiting for me. I've got to jump in that motor. And I'm going to end the show. But listen, Aaron, thank you again. Really appreciate it. And we will definitely talk in the new year. Looking forward to the OGs. Hopefully, we will get a win against Bournemouth. Take care, guys. And
take care.
God bless.